Believe it or not, but I am still running my actual main Home Assistant installation on an old Raspberry Pi 4 that sits in my garage. It's in an Argon ONE M.2 case with a SATA SSD inside that connects to it using USB. Now, despite it being about a year since I helped Gary from Gary Does Solar set up his Raspberry Pi 5, I still haven't got around to swapping my own Raspberry Pi over. Well, I've gone and bought this, the Argon ONE V5 case. This is a lot bigger than the V3 case that I recommended to Gary, and I'm actually not sure I would recommend the Argon case as the best option anymore for a Raspberry Pi, but we'll come to why that is later on in the video. But for now, let's take a closer look at the Argon ONE V5 case in more detail and see how it all goes together. So these are all the components that we need to get this up and running, and here is the most important item of all, the Raspberry Pi 5. Now this has to connect to this daughter board here. Now just as you can see, this is actually the inside of the case. This is the bottom, so this would go that way up when I show it to that camera there, but I'm looking at it upside down right now because I need to take, let's turn it around, take this bit out here, and this is the board that's got two extra USB ports on it to have USB ports at the front, and then there's an audio out as well. So those are HDMI ports and those are USB ports. So what we do is we take these two boards, we take the Raspberry Pi and the add-on board, and we just squeeze them together so as they fully connect, just like that. Now the case comes with a heat transfer pad, and you have to sort of snip it up into little squares, and you can see I've actually put them on these 4 areas just here, and those areas are where the various chips on the Raspberry Pi will actually make contact with the case. So when we put the case in place, it just goes in like that and sits down onto those thermal pads that are underneath. Now we need to screw this down in 4 places, and they are just here on the daughter board itself. So that's 1. Then there's number 2 is just there, number 3 is there, and number 4 is there. So I'm going to put all of these screws in, and I'll fast forward through this bit because it's not that interesting. Okay, on the bottom of this case, you've also got the M.2 PCI Express slot for your SSD. Now you can get a model that's got 2 of these. This is just the single SSD model, but you can get one with a second NVMe slot that's just there. So you can have 2 NVMe's in there if you really wanted to. I only need the one for Home Assistant, I'll be honest, and this is 500 gigs. That's going to be more than plenty. Now in the base of the case, there's a lot of rhyming in this review today. You can see there's this strip here. That strip is another thermal pad that's specifically for the SSD. Now I made a bit of a mistake when I first put this together, and I actually put the thermal pad on the actual circuit board itself, which makes no sense because it needs to make contact with this big metal plate that's in the base of the case. And if you put the thermal pad on the circuit board itself, you end up with a gap, so it just does nothing. It was a pretty pointless thing to do, to be honest. I don't know why I did it. We all make mistakes sometimes, I guess. So anyway, take your SSD and put that into the NVMe port just there, or the M.2 port just there, and there is a little screw that goes in and holds that in place. Right, now you can put the lid on the case and hold it in with 4 more screws, 1 in each corner. Again, I'm going to fast forward through this bit because you don't want to watch me put all 4 screws in. Now we flip it over and you can look inside here. I'm going to turn it around for the camera there. That is what it looks like inside the top of it. So we've got, let me point out some relevant bits here. This little wire here is the power for the NVMe. So we have to put that in there. It should already be lined up. There we go, just like that. We then have this little cable here specifically for the fan. So that has to go into that port just there, which is actually going straight into the fan port on the Raspberry Pi itself. What else have we got? That one should already be plugged in. That's actually the other end of that cable just there. Oh, and then there's another very important bit. We need to join the NVMe port, or the PCI Express port, on the Raspberry Pi that's just there to the one on the PCI Express daughter board, which has got your storage on. And they provide you with a couple of these little ribbon cables, and that goes in, quite tricky, let me feed that in, to the ribbon port that's joining the two. I'm going to push that down with a screwdriver to hold it in place. And then let's see if we can get that in focus for you. You can see just here how it's connecting the two PCI Express ports. So it's worth pointing out a few other things about this case while we've got it open. So you'll notice here there is a fan, and that fan takes air in from the top and blows it out the side just here, and it guides it through this entire huge chunk of aluminium, which vents it out the back of the case. Now that is all attached to the thermal pads that are on the Raspberry Pi 5. So this whole case is one massive heatsink, so it should be quite good for cooling. The other thing you'll notice is these GPIO ports, the pins even, not ports, are all exposed here. So you can get extra boards that go in this section here. I don't think you can get most of the standard Raspberry Pi hats on, purely because this heatsink area is really in the way, and I don't think they quite go on without an extension on it, which might end up hitting the roof of the actual case itself. I do need to have a play around, see if that works. But I've got a feeling most standard hats won't work in this case. Over here though, you've got a header for a Zigbee adapter. You can get an actual specific Zigbee adapter for this case. Argon actually make a specific adapter for it. Now, I don't know what that's like. I'm not sure I would want to use it. It's going to be sitting inside an aluminium case. It's basically going to be Faraday caged off from the outside world. I've seen reports that this case interferes with the Wi-Fi as well. Yeah, you can lose quite a bit of signal from having wireless aerials inside an aluminium case. So what they've done, I don't know if that's what this is for, but just on the back here you can see these two little circular areas, and they're like holes that have been filled in with a little cap, and they go all the way through. So I don't know whether you could fit an aerial on the back of there. So perhaps if you had the Zigbee adapter in, you could connect a wire out that could be the external aerial. Maybe you could do that for the Wi-Fi as well. I don't know how that works on a Raspberry Pi actually. That might not be possible to do. But either way, you've got an Ethernet port on the back, and that's the important bit for Home Assistant, and that's the bit I'm going to rely on. And I mentioned these extra USB ports and an audio jack. It's a 3.5mm audio jack on the back just there. Jack on the back. Again, more rhyming. I don't know what's going on with me today. But the jack on the back and the two USB 2 ports there, they have to be enabled using a bit of a script that Argon provide. That's not a problem to run at all. It actually just edits the config.txt file in the boot folder of the Raspberry Pi. So if you have Home Assistant, then you need to do that manually. I don't think the script will work with Home Assistant, but effectively it's the same script that you need to edit to get the fan working at lower temperature thresholds, and more on that in a minute. But now let's talk about the lid of the case, because I have made a small change to the lid of this case. It's not the standard one that it comes with. Well, it is the standard lid. So this is the actual lid that goes with the case. But you see this little section here? That is an OLED screen. I think it's 1.5 inches diagonal. And by default, it comes with a little plastic Argon logo stuck in there. You just turn it over, unscrew the little plastic cap that's in there, and you can fit this official Argon One OLED display in there. And in Home Assistant, that will actually display some useful things like the CPU usage, the memory, the fan speeds, the temperatures, the storage utilization, all that sort of thing. And it sort of cycles around different screens. There is a specific app or add-on for Home Assistant that you can install that will enable that screen for you. And just to show you how that connects, if I take this case here, it's actually going to plug into these bottom 6 pins just here. And there's a little ribbon cable there that plugs onto there like that. And then the lid snaps onto the case. It's magnetically held on, sort of, but it still needs 2 screws, one in each corner just here, to fully hold it in place. And the final screw is going in, and there we go, a fully assembled Argon ONE V5 M.2 Raspberry Pi 5 case. So look, I am going to use this case for my Raspberry Pi 5. Well, it would be a waste not to now that I've bought it anyway. And I have bought this. It's not a sponsored video or anything, which is good because I'm about to tell you why you shouldn't get this case. Reason number 1 is it is quite complicated to assemble, to be honest. There are a lot of screws involved. I mean, you saw the effort it took. It's also quite fiddly in places to get the connectors in. But to be fair, most small Raspberry Pi cases are quite fiddly, so I'm perhaps being a bit unfair there. However, it is still large. Personally, I'd prefer it to have been taller and with a smaller footprint because it does take up a lot of space in the cabinet in my garage. The large metal body does act as a big heatsink though, so it does have that advantage. But reason number 2 is that this case is way too expensive. I paid £43 including delivery, plus another £13.70 for the OLED display, which is of course optional. Now if you're after an actively cooled case for your Raspberry Pi 5 with support for an NVMe SSD, then for a fraction of the price you can go for the basic GeeekPi case, which costs only £18.99. Or if you want something a little fancier, then I found this ElectroCookie case, which is designed like a miniature gaming desktop PC. This looks really cool and it only costs $29.99. So look, I'm not disappointed in my choice of case. It's going to spend many years, hopefully, just sitting there in my garage, so it doesn't really matter what it looks like. I just need it to provide maximum cooling and reliability. But that OLED display is very cool, I think. I do really like that OLED display. As with most actively fan-cooled Raspberry Pi 5 cases though, you will need to tweak the fan settings if you're using Home Assistant, because the Pi 5 uses its own onboard fan controller. Check out the video I made a couple of weeks ago to learn how to enable that if you need to. I made a whole app for Home Assistant that does it all for you to make it easy. Anyway, links to all the products featured are down in the description in case you're interested. Case, Raspberry Pi case. No, never mind. Please give the video a like and subscribe to my channel for free to see more from me. A massive thank you as always to my amazing channel members and patrons for supporting the channel. If you'd like early access to my videos and the occasional bit of bonus content too, then check out the description for more information on joining. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.